Somebody always out there watching, and by the time you see them, it's already too late. Hey you guys, what's up, what's going on? I hope all is well on your side of the screen. Today we're doing our power book recap. Definitely make sure if you're not yet part of the family, you go ahead, hit subscribe, turn on your post notifications, because we've been doing this every week, y'all. And also make sure you like, comment, share, and all that other good stuff. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Also, I do have my Posh hair accessory clips on my website, which is linked in the description area. And just so you guys know, and you're not looking out for me for next week, starting on Friday, I am going to be taking a vacation until September, the first week in September. So I will be back in 2 weeks, most likely, whatever that first Sunday is. So yeah, just wanted to give you guys the heads up, because next week I won't have any review up, and a few of my other reviews that I do will not be up either. Okay, and girl need a little quick break for vacation before the summer's over. So now let's go ahead and talk about this episode. So Detective Howard, that was like the last thing that we saw, where he was like right in front of Rock. So it's like, okay, what's about to happen here? So lo and behold, I pretty much kind of felt like he knew this, and I think I said that in my predictions video, but he pretty much was like, yo, the kid can't shoot for shit, like he can't aim. And which pretty much meant that he knew that it was her that, that it was Kanan that tried to shoot him. He remembered everything. He just wasn't going to snitch out on his son. His only thing is that he wants Kanan to know that that's his father. And I feel like now it's even better, because I feel like it's more genuine now. Like before, he just wanted Kanan because he needed his cells or whatever. Like he needed his bone marrow. Or was it bone marrow? It was something that he needed. I think it might have been bone marrow. But now he actually wants to let Kanan know that that's that he's his father, So now I feel like it would be a better bond if it is to happen. And she tried to pretend like she didn't know who the father was, but he was just like, yeah, cut the bullshit. Like at the end of the day, he came by the office, he was dripping, and I was able to get his DNA. So you can't lie and bullshit your way through science. Like the proof is right here. So she didn't even want to see it, because I'm pretty sure she already knew. She just was trying to not have to deal with it, because at the end of the day, she's been doing it for so long, and she probably doesn't really want the connection to him. She doesn't want to confuse the kid, because he's never had to deal with having a father to talk to, or she's never had to have like somebody else parenting her child. It's always been her, she had that other dude that was there, but obviously her relationships haven't been lasting. So one thing that he did reveal to her was that Scrappy the gambler, he actually is a snitch now. And he said the only reason why he's telling her is because he don't want his son to get caught up in the mix. That's why he's like giving her the heads up. So it's crazy, because the same dude, he was trying to quote unquote get more responsibility, get more places, hold him down more weight, kind of a little more in command, because he's like, yo, I lost the eye for you guys. Like, y'all need to move me up in the world. Y'all need to let me get some stuff. And on top of that, they had put Neek's guy, Worrell, as like a right-hand man, like a new top dog. But it's like, yo, I've been here. Like, how you putting this dude on when I've been here? So at this point, everything was falling apart. And at the end of the day, Rock ended up handling what she needed to handle. She told the guys to handle it. None of them really wanted to do it, because they wanted to make sure that everything was good with him, But unfortunately, the more that they kept on looking into it, they're seeing that things ain't adding up. He was in some area, and they're like, what you was doing over there? Talking about it was with his cousin. That didn't check out. So it's like, and yeah, she already knew based off of this dude, off of Detective Howard, that he was a snitch. So Famous, aka Sean, he gets kicked out of his house because he was over here bringing some chick that he don't even know home, just had her sprawled out in the bed naked. They both high off of whatever they high off of. And his mother came home. His sister tried to warn him, and he wasn't paying attention, too high to even wake up. So, I mean, that was the end of that. And honestly, I don't blame his mother for doing that. He was tight because I guess she didn't give him any chances. It was just like, all right, this is your first violation and now you're done. But, I mean, it is what it is. That's utter disrespect. And if he would have listened to his sister, he probably wouldn't have been in that predicament anyway. So, he got what he got. Now he got to find some place to stay. He was trying to ask Kanan, but Kanan's just like, nah, my mom only let family. Like, it's not going to work. He's like, nah, but I could just sleep on the floor. Nah, like, it's not going to work. But what about y'all let Jukebox is family at the end of the day. Like, she's not going to let her niece be on the street. So Marvin, I mean, he got his anger management class and stuff, but he's barely paying attention. He's just eating chips, like just chilling. Like he don't even really want to be there. He thought it was going to be easy breezy, like his lawyer told him. But not all, that's the thing. Like just like how not all teachers are the same, not all professors are the same. You can't expect all instructors to be the same as well. Like just because normally they be like, all right, that's your guy. Like I'm going to just sign him off. He's good. But like, no, some people actually go by the book and they are not going to get themselves caught up for nobody. Like if somebody's to come and inspect them and make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do, and they say, who's this person named Marvin, and they're not sitting there, she could, lose her job because of that. I know when I was working those types of jobs, like where I had to be accountable for the people that I hired, I'm not going to do nothing to jeopardize my job. Like, F out of here. I don't even know these people. Like, I'm not going to get written up or fired because of you. Like, I was never that type. So, yeah, you'll be tight, but you won't have to do what you got to do. So, I mean, I get why she's like that, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, you can't expect to always get scot-free, especially when you did something wrong. I mean, it is what it is. So, the lawyer had told him pretty much that. No, lawyer also told him that they found Tony, which I'm like, that's crazy that you do stuff like that. I'm guessing he's like more so a crooked lawyer, because you showing your your client who's possibly a killer where their ex is, who is the only witness, that's never a recipe for anything good to come out of, So they find out that she's actually engaged now to some dude. It's like, damn, in 3 months, like, she was not playing. She found her a winner, somebody who had money. So she said, I'm gonna get that one. So yeah. So Laverne, she asked Rock a little bit about her mother because, I guess seeing that picture and stuff, it kind of made her wonder and think about her mom and stuff like that. So she ends up telling her that, one of the gifts that she gave her was this gift of voice, because her mother's a really good singer. And she's like, well, that's all she did. Like, and then she left. You know what I mean? Like, what else? Like, how she just gonna leave? And she was like, you know what, at the end of the day, like, she probably, like, I didn't really have a talk with her, a discussion, but she did what she had to do. Not everybody's fit or cut out to be a mother. And I mean, that's definitely true. That's, I guess, part of the reason why this abortion topic is so heavily debated in so many ways, but it's true. Like, not everybody's cut out to be a parent, to take care of other people, especially when they're thinking about their own sexuality or whatever else, so it definitely, Rock was like, she could respect that fact. But then once Laverne was kind of like, well, I can't, because at the end of the day, like, she needed her in her life. There's so many things that she probably could have learned from her mother. You can't learn the same things from your father that you can from your mother. And it's like, it's a difference between somebody leaving and somebody passing away. I mean, they both hurt, but one is like, it could have been avoided. You could have tried. You could have did something. You could have at least seen me sometimes, So I definitely get where she's coming from, because I had a similar upbringing as far as that's concerned. So, it's definitely, it always leaves you with questions in your head, like, what happened, like, especially if they don't tell you Like they don't have any real valid or good reasons. But sometimes, I mean, in hindsight, it is for the best, because you know, depending on what type of person that person was. I mean, they showed her mother because, you know, she did end up talking. Well, I'm gonna tell you about that in a minute. Anyway, so yeah, so I mean, you never know what kind of person this person is. Maybe they're irresponsible, maybe they're on drugs, it could be whatever. So now, one crazy thing that I saw is that Nicole's mother, which is Jukebox X, she's still trying to get Laverne put in jail. And I feel like it's mainly because she's black and she found out, you know, that they was lesbians or whatever. Because at the end of the day, it's like Laverne cared about this girl so much. Like, it literally destroyed her, got her smoking, and just, you know, it really changed her life. And it changed her as a person, because this is how she realized that she was a lesbian to begin with, you know. And I mean, she probably knew, but that's how she kind of like came out or whatever. So for her, it was devastating. And her mother's still trying to push for her to go to jail, and she's mad at Burke, you know, saying that she's part of the problem and stuff like that. So Burke, speaking of her, the officer, she actually helped Laverne to find her mother, find where her mother lives. She let her know that her mother was divorced twice and she never had any kids. So I guess that's kind of like, you know, a good thing for her. It's not like, because I've seen some where it's like the parent, they left you and then they started a whole new family with somebody else. And, you know, it's like, well, hot diggity damn, you know, what happened to me? You could take care of somebody else's kids, but you couldn't take care of me? Like, that's how it is, you know? So the next thing that I seen was that Julia, she's still around. She was the girl that, of that shop, that little bodega where Rock had helped her out, you know, killed her owner, we could almost say, you know, the man that was tormenting her. And, you know, now she's pretty much the shop owner. And Rock still keeps her money over there. But they have like a rat problem. Ironically enough, Rock had a rat problem in real life and a rat problem in, you know, her organization, if you want to call it that. But the crazy thing about it is that the rats is actually eating money that she left there, because she left them in boxes, just a whole bunch of money. And I'm like, that's like super unsecure. Like, you're just leaving money in boxes. If her place get robbed, they go through everything. I mean, that might be one of the last places they look, but still, you never know. You know, if her place goes down in shambles, fire, all your money's gone, you know? So I'm like, at the end of the day, like, that's probably, you know, not such the best place. Like, what happened to maybe building a safe in there or something, you know, where you would actually be able to keep this money good, you know? But no, she's keeping it in boxes for the rats. The rats ate up a whole box of money. I'm like, yo, you know what people could do with this kind of money? And I feel like Julia kind of made her, or opened up her eyes, and she was just kind of like, you know, the money that I get, I'm sending it back home so that they can make a house, you know, and things like that. And you just have your money getting eaten by rats, you know, like literally getting eaten by rats. So I think that kind of opened up her eyes, because they did show her trying to like look into a nicer neighborhood and just kind of upgrading where she lived now. I mean, of course, they try to play you because you black, you know. It's like, oh, make sure you bring them W-2s in, make sure you bring some paychecks and all that, you know, because you talking about you want a nice place. I could show you some places in the hood where you could probably afford. She's like, well, I look like I can't get some place up in, you know, and I guess she mentioned the nicer areas. They be trying to play you, son, especially back in those days. I mean, and it still be the same thing. Like, people just look at you and feel like, oh, nah, like, you don't even got that kind of money. Like, you never know. So Zisa, she sounds really good. I mean, she has a great voice. I do feel like she's going to take Lou to the next level. Zisa's uncle, which wasn't really her uncle, some dude that I guess, I don't know if she deals with him or what, but he's trying to make sure he has a little stake into her music. I guess she did some songs for him or whatever, but he ain't trying to let her go or be on anybody else's label. He'd rather do some type of collaboration with them. Crown tried to tell Lou, like, you know, that's not a good deal, because at the end of the day, if she blows up, we don't have any exclusive rights to her. and, you know, anything can happen. But Lou just went ahead, shook hands, and looks like he's ready to move forward on the deal, which, I mean, it is what it is. Also, too, he found out that his girl is moving to Cali, you know, courtesy of Crown. So I think that kind of opens his eyes up to see that Crown ain't who he actually thinks he is. I mean, I don't know who he thought he was, but, you know, like, he ain't really down for him. And something was probably going on, because he looked at him like, when she said it, he's like, Crown, huh? Like, just like, why he doing so much for you, trying to get you set out someplace else if y'all just supposed to be cool? You know, like, how y'all get to have so many types of conversations? So, I mean, he sees, like, at the end of the day, she was just for herself. So what else happened after that? After that, I mean, who was out here? So he was trying to really get back, like, what's his name? Neek. He was trying to get back, you know, on his feet and stuff like that. Right now, he's staying at his kid's mother's place, which is actually under her mom's roof. But the crazy thing about it, and this kind of shows you, like, people love you when you up, but once you down, you on your own half of the times. Like, they forget all the good stuff that you did. Or if you need a hand, ain't nobody there. It's like, everybody, that's how you could tell the real from the fake. So once you get back up, like, you know, all those people ain't coming with you back up to the top, because you seen their true colors. And they gonna want to come back too once they see that you back on the top. But you just gonna be like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta treat those kind of people. So the mother's all talking about he's a deadbeat, he's worthless, like, he's just here eating up the food, and he ain't bringing nothing in, he's not providing. But he's like, oh, it's crazy how you saying that now, but back in the days when I was paying for your rent and food and sending you and your girls out to the casinos, like, you wasn't saying that. You know what I mean? Like, she was silent because she know at the end of the day it's true. It's quick. It's so funny how people forget so quick. And it was only like 3 months, you know? Dude just been down, probably out not even that long, and this is the way you talking about him. And she's saying it while he's in earshot length, you know what I'm saying? So it's like she just talking about him like he's garbage, like he's not even a human, you know, like he's some like dude that never did nothing, you know, always been munching with her. It's crazy. Like, that's all I say, like, you gotta be careful who you put in your corner and who you do good for, because, I mean, but it be times like this, sometimes you won't see it because they show you so much gratitude, so much love, but it be times like this you see the real. So now, like I said, he's trying to get back on top. He tried to talk to the supplier. They ain't really messing with him. His old boy, Warrell, he's now with Rock. And, you know, it's just everybody's just shitting on him. And the cops, they watching him too, because they kind of have him as a prime suspect in the shooting of Detective Howard, even though they already cleared him and there's nothing that connects him really to the shooting. You know, they just pretty much try to set him up. And so, you know, it's like he got a target on his back, and a lot of people don't even want to mess with him because of that. Because they like, nah, you hot right now. Like, you not good for the near distant future. Like, that's what the supplier done told him. So now Marvin and Lou, they end up taking Scrap on a little trip to show him this new spot. But the thing about it, he got mad excited. He's like, yes, like, finally, like, y'all are listening to me. Finally, I'm about to be on top. But the crazy thing about it, he was just all excited, you know, silence. Then all of a sudden, had the Glock to his head, and boom, just took him out. One shot, that was it. Rock had to take the bullet, because the fellas, Lou and Marvin, they both didn't want to do it. But, you know, they had to do what they had to do as far as getting him to the spot. But you could tell this was a real emotional one for them, because at the end of the day, he did take an eye for them. He showed them so much loyalty throughout the whole entire time. But it's like, when it comes to me or you, it ended up being like, you know what? Like, I'm going to start being for me, because if I'm not for me, that means I'm going to go to jail. So, you know, he did a 6'9" on him. He was doing what he had to do for himself and his mothers to keep out of jail, since, you know, he got caught up on the gambling stuff, which they've been told him to slow down on, but he got caught slipping. So, I mean, that was pretty much the episode. You know, that was, I guess, a hard one for them. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. I do feel like, I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like that whole deal that Lou made with this guy, I feel like it might kind of bite him in the butt. And I do feel like him and Crown is about to like really have some words out, because now he knows that Crown ain't the type of dude that he thought he was, and he can't trust him. So we'll see how this all goes down, y'all. I do want to see you know, Kanan talk to his father. I feel like that would be a good look. But and what's her name, his mom did try to kind of warn him and say like, oh, he's bugging, so if he talks to you about anything, like, it's just his mind, like, just bugging, so don't really take him too seriously or whatever, because he's saying all kind of crazy stuff, you know. But yeah, all right, y'all, I'll see you on the next one. Laters.